Hello there, everyone. My name is Sue from Crafty Old Women, and today I'm going to uh, do a quilt top that I started doing the applique and everything for yesterday and the day before. As well as in the background, I'm going to do a fairy embroidery. I've done a few, but yeah, we're just going to do a few more to top up the quilt. So I'll start on the fairy, and then I shall go over to doing the top. So here we go, and welcome everyone. I'll just check that this is all going to be okay before I leave it. And if there's anyone out there that would like to have a chat, please go for it. Just got to try and get this in the right position so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah. This fairy, it's called Fabulous. Oh, well, thank you very much. Yep. I'm hoping it all turns out quite well. You're right, not a problem at all. Try to keep busy, I do. Oh, I think I might have to turn the air conditioning on. My day's going great, thank you. Yes, I've just cooked scones for my husband and his friend that has come up from the other end of the country. And then I decided that, yep, it's about time I did something for me. So I'm going to turn this air conditioner on, otherwise I think I'm going to swelter. Ah, there we go. This is a great sewing room, but it does tend to get a bit warm sometimes. Yep. Actually, I got a really cool scone recipe. I'm all okay. I do lots of different sorts of scones, but this one was so simple. It was 4 cups of self-raising flour or all-purpose flour, 100 mils of lemonade, and 300 mils of cream. Mix it up and put it in the oven, and they call it no fail. And today was pretty good. It didn't fail. I've had a few that have turned out like biscuits. So, and how's your day been going? That's all right, not a problem. That's what friends do. So have you been doing anything interesting? Yep, I might let that one go, and then we'll get over here to this one, which is the main object of the day. Oh, okay, Photoshop things. What sort of Photoshop things? Ah, sounds like you're a very busy person. Yeah, my hubby has a streaming overlay, yeah? It's fun, is it? Broken fingernail. Yeah, there's me thing all put together. So I think I'm going to have to clip his wings up somehow. I was going to let it go free, but I think his wings are going to get in the way or whatever. Well, thank you. I started doing the fairies a few weeks ago. Just trying to think where it is. I'll grab it in a second and show you too. It's a big applique fairy. And yeah, I'm just doing the little, I think they're called fantastic fairies, to go with it. So when I get the 4 or 6 or something of them done, there we go. Got to sew it all together. So how's that for the inside of a quilt? So once I get it all sewn together and sewn onto the piece, the centre, yet another one down. I do have several quilts, I must admit, made. So, but I enjoy doing them, so that's the main thing. Never time to get bored. Oh, wait a minute, I've got to cut the edge off that one. No, I've actually got about 100 or 50, something like that, that have not been sold. I'd like to sell a lot of them, I must admit. And everyone is different. Everyone's an individual. The problem in Australia is nobody, you know. Hi, Ducky. How are you, Berserk? Two seconds. I've just got to trim this edge off and I'll be with you. So I'm not being rude, I'm just having to do something that I forgot to do before. One of those days, has it? Sounds like fun. Not. Just one day at a time, mate. Yeah, I've made yeah, shapes. I've made a lot of quilts over the years. Yeah, it'll start where it's left off. Yep, for sure. I can send it back or send it forward. So yeah, it can go anyway. Okay, bye Berserk, love you. Yeah, it's a matter of programming it, shapes. Look, I will sell them for sure. I also give away a lot. I had a thing a few years ago where I gave a lot to the hospitals, or a hospital where that looked after my mum before she passed away. So, yeah, quite often you see a worthy cause, and, there's been ones where, people, their houses have burnt down and they've lost everything. Um, a lot of the scrappy ones that I do might go to just less fortunate people. I say scrappy. They're not scrappy. They're just ones that are done out of the leftovers of what, yeah, just, I say scrap pieces of material that rather than throwing them away, you just sew them all together and go from there. And there's lots of people out there that deserve nice stuff but can't afford it. So if we can help, well, we do it. When people are nice to you, you don't mind giving back. But you also find a lot of people that are not appreciative of what you do either. Actually, I was just talking to somebody, my husband's friend, and he said, why do people order things and then don't follow through with them? Well, I don't know the answer to that one, but I think they sort of think, well, circumstances may change. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, circumstances change. They order things, say they want it, and then other people's intervention or whatever. There was a lady that, in a lot of cases I asked for a deposit, but, if they're friends or friends of family or stuff like that, like this one particular lady, she told me what she wanted, I made it. I didn't charge her a deposit because she was a friend of my cousin, and when I'd finished it, and it was quite a beautiful and quite intensively made quilt, she decided she didn't want it. So I was a wee bit miffed over that one, because, when it takes you absolutely weeks and months to do them, and the cost, yeah, it's not funny. I'll just iron this. I'll see if I put the press on. No, haven't. I switched it off again. Yeah, well, I guess you got to take the good with the bad and sort of go, well, she was just one. I've had another one that ordered stuff for Christmas presents. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, as I said, there was another one that ordered some stuff for Christmas last year. She bought a couple, but because I did a lot of work for her mum, I thought, oh, no, it'll be fine. And then she decided at the last minute, like Christmas Eve, that she didn't want it. And then now her mum won't talk to me, and I'm going, well, what have I done wrong? Nothing. She said it was something about she had a tax bill or something like that. So, yeah, I've been burnt a few times, but I guess just because I'm a nice person, I think, oh, it'll be right. It won't happen to me again. Actually, that particular one that she ordered and didn't take was a Pokemon one. She was having it for a cousin or someone, I don't know. And actually it was a panel quilt. So I'd had to buy the panel, and I got the last 2, I think it was, or 3 in the world, and it cost an absolute fortune. And then, you know, at the last minute to be not so much stuck with it, but yeah, so to be told that no, she didn't want it after all. But I'm sure out there somebody will love it. One day. One day. You've got to keep positive in mind. It's not worth it. She's a 19-year-old, and, you know, she just... I think it's not worth it. Not worth the aggravation. And, you know, we live in a small country town, which is getting bigger, I may add. You know, and people talk. Nah. I'd rather give it away to some nice person that you know that'll appreciate it. I think appreciation's... I mean, we all need money, for sure. But, you know, get the appreciation, I think, is even better. And I'm a big believer in karma. If you do the wrong thing by people, eventually you'll get it back. Possibly not from that person, but yeah, it all comes back. It all comes out in the wash. Yes, karma is a very, very big thing. My philosophy is you live and let live. You know? But the other thing is you don't get stuck with that person again, and you don't get burnt twice with that person again. Yeah, I mean, it was really quite funny. You know, as I said, if I'd have done anything to this lady, I'd say fair enough. But, you know, I walk past her in the shopping centre and she just gives me this filthy look. And I'm going, well, what have I done? If there was something I'd done, I'd understand it. And even that, I was charging her minimal price. You know, when you're getting like a $300 quilt for $150, you probably shouldn't complain too much. Life's like that, I suppose. You just have to cope with it. That berserk that was on a while ago is my son, or one of my sons, and he's getting a little bit of a hard time at the moment, having a little bit of a hard time at the moment. I'm going to be up and down a lot here, and over at the yeah, I keep treading on wires here. Yeah, so I'm just at the press, ironing it all out, trying to keep it all. I am knowing. Oh yes, I didn't disconnect myself. I had to check. Ooh. Oops. I think I'm going to have to clean this plate. I think I've got some sticky stuff on it, which I don't want to wreck the quilt. Hop. There we go. Back again. Oh, okay, we've got white wings. Oh, got to check on this every now and again too to make sure it's okay. No. I don't know, maybe I might have a mythical thing going at the moment. The dragonflies and the butterflies and the fairies, and another one of the phases of my life. Oh. I think they might be, actually, yes. There's a few angels up there keeping their eye on me. Have been for a while. One happens to be my mum, and the other one my grandparents. My mum died a couple of years ago. I looked after her until she passed away, and I actually had to go into hospital a few days later and have a quite intensive operation. Who's this? This is me boy. This is my grandson.
Yes, and Dad's out.
Oh, okay. Just leave him. He'll be fine. He'll come too.
Yep.
His dad's got narcolepsy, so he just passes out every now and again. Where is he?
He's in the pool.
Oh, okay. Yep. Just put a pillow under his head.
Okay, I'm going to need some help.
Oh, okay.
Because last time I tried to do it on my own, I dropped him.
Oh, God, don't drop him. All right, excuse me for a minute. I've got to go pick up his father.
It sounds like I'm sorry, Nanny.
That's all right. Get a pillow, darling. Okay, I'm back. It's a bit of a concern when your children go out cold. It's just a matter of when he goes out, because he becomes totally unconscious. So what have I done with my glasses now? All you can do is put a pillow under his head and go from there. The joys of kids and grandkids and all the rest of it. I mean, the good thing is that no, it's not like a seizure at all. It's just he completely passes out, just out cold. The first time we saw it, my other son. Yes, it is a lot of work. Hi, that ain't living. How's everything? Yeah, it is a lot of work, and basically he can't go anywhere by himself. He can't do much by himself. Yeah, so it's just, you just got to be there, I suppose. That's what being a mum's all about, they tell me. I also have him, that young one, and his brother, and my grandkids I'm bringing up as well. Actually, the first time that he went out, very busy, very busy. As I said, my middle son... Oh, your internet sucks, does it, Busy? That ain't living, yeah? Are we having problems with it, or... Oh, you got Western Australian internet. Sorry, I got halfway through saying something, as I do. Yeah, my middle one has narcolepsy as well. Oh, not so much now, but he did have as a kid. First time it happened, he was in class, in school, and he just went unconscious. Freaked the crap out of his teachers. And nobody knew what it was. But when it started happening to this one, at the ripe old age of 39 or something or other, we knew exactly what it was. The doctors don't. The doctors sort of go, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with him. Well, I'd like to know what it is then. Yeah, sometimes you've just got to, you know, take time out for yourself and just hope that everything else works out. I'm pretty lucky though, because my hubby helps me a lot. Even went and hung all the washing out for me the other day. Oh, great. That's all you need, is to be chewing through that mobile data. What are we happening over there? What's happened? Well, thank you. I think he's a pretty good egg too. That's why I've kept him around for so long. I ran out of bobbin. That's what the problem is. So what have you been doing that ain't living? You been doing anything interesting? Still on that mannequin? Still looking after the chillins? And preparing for the big day, I'd say. There we go. Let's see how that goes now. Decisions on what colours to use. Yeah, it's a bit inconvenient too when my son clonks out when he's trying to play teacher to his son because he gets homeschooled. Oh, right, okay, yeah. Trying to raise kids, it's not easy. Tell you what, we bought I don't know whether Steve told you, but we went out the other day and we bought a steam mop cum vacuum cleaner. It's off Bissell. Absolutely great. Yeah. You don't have to mop it over or sweep it first. You just do it straight onto the floors. It's called a Crosswave, I think it was, off memory. Not cheap. But absolutely fabulous. You don't believe how dirty your floors are until you've used this. I was horrified, to be honest. Oh, okay. Oh. Was there too much water in it for it to go mouldy? Maybe it might be when you put it on again. Yeah, it's a different, yeah, I'm actually looking at getting one of those ones that you can do your clothes with and do the lounge and stuff like that. But this is just like a floor cleaner, like a vacuum cleaner, steam mop, yeah. And it's not like a regular steam mop. It's got a round thing that goes round, round, round like your vacuum cleaner. Okay. That could have been it, yeah. Yeah, it hasn't had time to properly dry out. So put it out in the sun for a while. Don't know what I can suggest as far as drying that, unless you did it with a hairdryer. Hairdryer might do the job. Trying to think here. Think as I'm working. can't I find what I'm finding, what I'm looking for? That might be better. Just a darker brown. There's not a lot of difference, I must admit, in the two, but anyway. Actually, Steve's entertaining a guy from down your way that ain't living. The guy from Lee Nelson, the owner of Lee Nelson, is up here with Steve at the moment for a few days. So they might even go on later on after I've finished. I don't know. I think they're doing a lot of different things at the moment. Blue. I hope the blue is for the eyes, otherwise it's going to look very weird. Oh, okay. Just be careful with the heat gun though, that, you know, if it's insulation, the metal insulation, it might arc back at you. I'll thread this up. Oh, okay. Oh, well, reuse what you can and go from there. Oh, okay, yep. Yeah, at least with the shrinky stuff and the chicken wire, it might come back in to get the proper form anyway, yeah. Okay, back to the top. And where have you gone, Shapes? Have you still there, or are you given up? Got other things to do. Yeah, as you said, when you get to the end of the line and you don't know what else to do, yep, you try whatever you can. I've had a few incidences like that in my life, I can tell you. Okay, I'll iron this one. I don't know what I'd do without my ironing press, I tell you. Makes so much easier than a plain old iron. Oops, my seat's gone all funny on me again. I don't know whether to just leave this as a cot quilt or... No, I think I'll just do a single. Yeah, Creative Kiwi have just brought out a unicorn. So that's the next one on my list, I think, of things to buy. And we'll do a unicorn quilt. Once again, all that that magical things. Now we're into we'll get the unicorns and the fairies and the all that stuff. It's funny, I wasn't really into applique, but it's really got me lately. Probably because I thought it was too hard. And I'm a wimp. That's all right. Go for it. Watch your ads if you want. I hope it was an interesting one. And I hope you haven't locked yourself out again lately. Oh, wow, that was good. Good measurements. Took the whole strip, exactly. Ah, oh, PS4, yes. One of my kids has got one. No, two of my kids have got them. Yes, absolutely. And what Anthony doesn't know is he's getting a PS4 for Christmas. But that's our secret. And a lot depends on if he does his schoolwork or not. Being homeschooled, there's a lot of depends on there. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, where do we go from here? As long as the burglars don't find your key, that's the main thing. Okay, so what are we going to do here, I wonder? Let's see. Let's see. Well, thank you. Yeah. It's not an easy job, though, I must admit. But with anxiety and all that sort of stuff, you got to do something. He says he wants to go back to regular school, but no, I won't stop him, but I don't think he's ready to do it. He's got too many problems. And then his mother's just left, so that's just created more problems. Only short term, though. Ah, okay. Very handy, James. Yes. Not a good idea to hide Daddy's rocks or keys. At least, yeah, at least with being homeschooled, you know, he gets a lot of he learns a lot of diverse things. So it's not just a matter of, you know, maths, English, geography. You know, he gets to go down with Steve and, you know, do some woodwork and stuff. Mixing with a lot more adults because he's got problems there. Cooking, has to do his chores. I've put him to work lately. Watching me sewing, him sewing. So he gets a lot of experiences that a lot of other kids wouldn't get, I suppose. Where's the light green? What have I done with it? Oh, there you go. It's not really a grass green, but that might do. What, darling? Oh, that's all right. Not a problem, darling. Love ya. I'd say they're going to do videos by the look of that, because he's walking around with a camera. Probably promotional ones, I'd say, for Lee Nelson. Thank you. It's getting there for sure. Oh, one more strip of this and then I'll have to go cut some more. Tell you what, I never should get super fat the amount of time I mean, I'm not exactly skinny, but up and down and moving around that I do. I'll come over here. Oh, okay. You're teaching basic woodwork, metalwork, engineering? Yeah. Hey, look. I don't know. It's very hard because they won't, or they can't, and I don't want them to, diagnose him with autism or any of this sort of stuff. They don't get the funding, so they don't care. My granddaughter in Canada, she's autistic and she has problems, with school and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll see you later, Shapes. We will catch you later on the flip side. Thank you. Bye. I will have a wonderful time for sure. You too. Enjoy your friends. Okay, so James is doing a little bit of sewing with Alicia. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing, really, how kids tend to drift towards one or the other and stuff like that. But if it's something that they're interested in, yeah, it is only about the dollars. That's right. I mean, he had a lot of problems at primary school because he had a very disrupted early age. Not saying that he's not getting one now, but 5 schools by the time he was in year 3. That's not a good start. But anyway, that's just another thing. Yeah, I think the only reason he wants to go back to regular school next year is because his brother will be in high school, so they'll be there together. I don't know. I've got a bit of a weird feeling about it because I think they're going to take one look at him and go, no, unless it's this, you've got to play by this rule and that rule, and I'd rather keep him home and educate him here and at least know that he's getting that diverse stuff, as well as the basics, reading, writing, arithmetic. Keep that going. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I went to a few, but I was also pretty stable within those ones. A lot comes back to, I think, the support and everything that you're getting at home as well as school. It's that stability, the security, and knowing that you're loved, regardless of what happens in life. And seeing I'm the loving type of person. Yep. Just have to be there for them all. I think I should adopt half of the world. It's just me. Anyone that's got a sad story, I'm there. It's a bit sad. Maybe it's not straight. Gonna add a little bit onto that one. A bit of a sad story, that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's not so much the fights. He's not the fighting type, but he's the victim in a lot of cases, which is not good either. Because of his anxieties and issues, yeah, there's a lot of kids sort of bully him and not like that, you know. He's really such a sweet kid. He just got the total insecurities. As I said, Mummy took off a couple of weeks ago, which is another stable that he's lost. Not that it's a big shame, but anyway, that's yet another story. Oops-a-daisy. At least he's got his dad and Steve and I. Up and press again. I'll be with you in a second. Just got to work this out and iron this. And yeah, I must admit, I mean, bullying wasn't fashionable when I was around, but I wasn't terribly popular at school. And in fact, it's really quite funny because I got a lady I saw the other day, and I sent her a message and said, "Oh, are you Mr. and Mrs. Such and Such, who used to be my teachers at school?" And she went, "Yeah, I'm her daughter." And I'm going, "Okay, she was the one that taught me how to cook. She was also my sewing teacher for a long time. And I was told, not by her, but by one of them, that I might as well give up. And her dad was my geography and English teacher. So we're surrounded by them. And in fact, it was him that sort of almost took me under his wing, I think. I'll just check how this is going. And I must admit, geography was one of my favourite subjects. Yeah, that's right. I mean, Anthony's a hell of a lot bigger now than what he was 12 months ago when he was at school. He just seems to have had this massive growth spurt. I'll have to cut these off, otherwise I'm going to end up with threads everywhere. I mean, he was a big boy, don't get me wrong, but not as big as what he is now. I mean, seriously, he's probably the size of a 16-year-old, but he's just turned 13. So, but these are the things that we have to cope with, I suppose. Look, I think the majority of the time, you know, is there for the money. I mean, my youngest one's girlfriend, a couple of his girlfriends, he actually helped put through university, as in financially, put them through university. When they were almost finished, they left him, you know. And even now, they're only in it for the dollar. My sister-in-law, she's a teacher, and I believe she would be one of the ones there to teach and for the good of the kids. She's, you know, pretty good. And she cares about the kids, I think, more than anything else. The dollars just happen to be a bonus. Although, you know, they have the nice home. They have the everything that they could ever want. But yes, I think in that case, she'd be there for the kids more so than the money. And I think that's what's important. If you do it for the love of it, if you do it because you like the job rather than the money, that's, you know, that's what's important. And I think that's where both Steve and I come into it. If I was doing this for money, it wouldn't happen. Because as I said to someone a little while ago, you know, I've got like 50, 60, up to 100 quilts that are sitting there. All are for sale, but nobody wants to pay, you know. And I'm not charging high prices comparison to what the work that goes into them. I think if you looked at the hours that go into them, probably wouldn't even be, you know, $10, $15 an hour. And, you know, it might look pretty easy work sitting here watching this go, but you got to be there, and, you know, everything else that goes into it. You know, the equipment itself is fairly expensive. You know, you pay $11,000 for this machine. To go over and do some more of this and cut some more strips of this one in a minute. Oh, itchy, itchy. Oh. Oh, this one's got eyes. There you go. Anthony keeps calling them the eyeless fairies. Yeah, that's right. You know, you donate it. As I said, I don't know whether I told you, but you know, I donated a lot to the hospitals and stuff like that, particularly the cot quilts and stuff like that. Just after my mum passed away, I, you know, well, I had an operation which was could be life-threatening, was life-threatening. But my recuperation, I needed something. So I threw myself into doing something like this. Yeah. Steve's a bit like that, I must admit, you know, he'd give away his shirt and do that. Yeah, garage full of shit. I know that feeling. I've got a yard full of timber and lots of sheds full of timber. But I can't complain because I've got a full shed. I've got a whole pile of stuff too, you know, stuff that I wonder if I'll ever use. But I can't give it away because I just might use it. Because I guess it's the old thing. As soon as you throw it away, that's when you need it. Until you move. And then you think, oh my golly. Maybe it is the military training, yeah. Yeah, he hasn't got Scottish heritage, but he's got the English. He was born in England, so he's got the, you know, the English heritage, yeah. And yes, military training too. You really are a mix, aren't you? See, that's where the Italian cooking comes into it that you like. Actually, when my sons come up from Sydney, I'm going to have to get Steve to do some pasta again, I think. Well, that's what the boys said anyway. Dad's got to move pasta for me again, because that was yummy. Just contemplating what I'm going to do else on the rest of this quilt. And also work out how many of these fairies I need, whether I need another one or whether I need another 3. And how are the kids going? So have you got any great plans for Christmas or anything like that? We're going to have a good old family Christmas. My son that was in Canada and reckons he's going back. This will be the first year he'll be here for almost 12 years, I think it is. So 12 Christmases. So we're really looking forward to that. Anyway, I think I'm actually going to shut off a little bit early today. I'm going to go and check up on my son that conked out a while ago and find out if Steve wants to do some streaming or whether they're just doing the videos. So I'll just finish this off and bid you farewell, I think, until maybe tomorrow morning. Then I'll continue doing this quilt and possibly another fairy. Oh, another 3 minutes. And go and use that steam mop on your floors and make them all nice and clean again. Maybe I should have done that pink. But anyway, we've got a green flower. Where are we going with that? Actually, I might change that and do a pink or something on that one, which might make it look a little bit more pretty. Just to break the boredom. Oh. Okay. There we go. Shouldn't have did that, should I? Pull through the other colour. highlights. Ah, pink flower. Thought she was going to get pink highlights for a second. That's me. All right, I will be bidding everybody farewell for today. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I've got to go check on my son who clonked out a while ago. So, yep, I'll catch you same time tomorrow, 10 o'clock my time. So, farewell, Brett.